Have you guys seen a bit of Jakiro recently? I've seen there's been 1 or 2 resurging picks of this hero with decent success. And SA has 100% win rate with 1 pick throughout the regional finals.
Broken in pubs, I can say that for sure.
Yeah, is it as a support or are they playing the offlane Jakiro build with a Witch?
Mostly these core Witchblades, but I think even as support versus like something like Willow, really strong. All of your spells hit through the Shadow Realm. You have another. Now you have your long distance canceller for the Bane. You have your Ice Path in case, you know, Night Stalker's occupied. Now you have something that can actually deal with that. And just heavy damage at control inside laning phase to secure for a more greedy pick, which we see the PL picked up, so.
Yep.
These supports do absolutely nothing to Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, I'm
concerned.
Like, can you Lesh 18th? Like, it feels like
I think they have to
go
Lesh. I think they have to Lesh here or they're going to have really big problems because Spirit's going to ban it. And then, I don't know what you can do, like Zeus, like, and that's not really a good solution versus Night Stalker.
Lesh seems fine. You have a good team for it.
They have a good I actually think Lesh is pretty decent, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
that
think
or
if they don't pick it here, it's banned.
The you know, the cruddy thing for HellRaisers is that they banned the Ember Spirit too. So now they're like, oh man, I wish we didn't ban that Ember because now they actually had the option for Ember Spirit if they didn't because of the PL, but maybe they were looking to set up a PL for themselves, like I was mentioning, because I know Watson really likes to play Phantom Lancer, but they're taking down their time. They're probably contemplating the Lash.
Oh.
They lost. Oh no, I hate that hero. I hate Troll Warlord. Oh no, HellRaisers, anything but Troll.
I mean, somehow Yadro wins games on Troll, and I also agree. I think this hero is not very good at all.
That's Spirit.
Like, that's true. That's Spirit. Like, I feel like that's just a complete outlier, and Yadro God. There's a reason why he changed his name to that. Like, what's the build? Do you go Maelstrom? Do you go Battle Fury? Do you try and end the game early? Do you try and pace to the late stages?
I don't know. I honestly, like, the last game that I watched and casted a Troll game was Arteezy's at TI. And he got, you know, he was playing with an ET on his team, and his ET stomped, and his Battle Trance sent him for a different hero, and they lost the game because of it. That's like my memory of Troll right now.
So I think that I've seen a Troll matchup versus PL recently, which lost, by the way, because Troll is trash. But the attempt that it was, Troll versus PL, was going for the Ags build. Like, you go Maelstrom, etc., and then you go Ags as a mid-late game item. And then the constant blind makes the illusions never hit you. And so it's Doppelganger Axes. Mind you, it lost, and it was still Troll. So it didn't really overcome the fact that you're picking a bad carry. But it seemed okay, at least in the core-to-core matchup. It seems good against Night Stalker too. He is a lane bully. You know, he's one of the strongest laning carries. He has some things going for him.
I guess, there you go. Okay, fine. I'm actually, you know, now, when you say it like that, and when I hear it too, it's like, okay, strong in laning carry, I'm all right with.
Yeah.
But this Ags build, I don't know. I mean, maybe if he gets, like, Ags Maelstrom really early, he's going to be some, like, really strong fighter, but... Oh, man, I hate this hero. And I was excited, too, at the 3 heroes they had. Like, I'm like, oh, Gilger Willow, hell yeah.
Right.
It just looks really hard. Maybe they really were just running out of options. And Lesh isn't banned, so they still will be able to get it if they want.
But why not ban the Lesh then? Why is TeamSpirit thinking?
Are they going to have an answer to the Lesh in the 23rd? Like, is there a position 2 hero you could pick that really destroys Lesh? Like, he's a solid laner, though, so he doesn't have too many bad matchups.
Yeah, there's not that many. That just, like... I mean, they'll take it.
That's why.
That's why. Well, because there's a Willow on the other team, too, right? Like, Lesh eats Willow. Lesh eats Bane. Or eats Mars. I think Spirit just took over the draft in the last 2 picks pretty hardcore, my friends.
And they didn't have the greatest way to, like, take objectives. Yes, Jakiro is not bad. Liquid Fire is a support. I think it's a little bit better when you're playing as a core, but now you've got a really easy way to take objectives early and get map control, because Troll needs time to come online, and you just block pick, so I don't know what they go for here.
Rabel's Void Spirit. Oh, no, it's Magnus.
Magnus? I haven't seen a mid-Magnus in some time either.
With the Troll, you know,
it's gonna go Mars mid. They are gonna flex it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I didn't think that they actually would, because we literally haven't seen them do it in like a month, and they pick this combo, like they pick Mars non-stop. So,
to be fair, when Rabel was on, what was the previous team? Windstrike. They used to play a fair amount of Mars mid. He used to play Mars and Void Spirit mid, more so than his offlaner. So, could be that you know, they're just bringing back an old pick. They were saving strats. Who knows? Does this make you like the draft more or less fogged with the Mars mid?
Troll is just glaring at me. I'm sorry. Like,
Okay.
it's Troll Magnus. It's a late game lineup that you're building toward, and I feel like you're playing into Spirit's hands. You're playing versus PL, and you've got like your Troll is everything versus this PL in this game. If he's not empowered, PL's not dying later stages of the game. So I think HellRaisers has to come out with some crazy advantage. If this goes late, Spirit wins anyway. So I don't know. They have to really be playing super fast pace with these initiators. With Mars and Magnus, they got to do some crazy stuff because I think this PL is just going to get out of control.
Aries, final thoughts before I go?
Yeah, it feels really hard to go against TeamSpirit. Like, I was a big fan of their draft through the entirety, and of course, taking away the Leshrac feels like it's going to be difficult. But we'll see. Maybe having a mag to empower the Troll, he might be able to go for a more aggressive item to come online early before the PL. But it's hard to go against TeamSpirit.
We'll see if HellRaisers can beat the odds and do what they did when they beat Virtus.pro, surprising everyone taking the first game of Spirit with a Troll of all heroes, or will they fall to the might of the TI winners? We're going to have to see, and we go over to your casting pair. You might recognize them. Their names are Aries and Fogged.
Thank you, Arvo. I mean, Fogged? I mean, this is exciting. We get to see, of course, the reigning TI champions taking on HellRaisers. It really feels like... I mean, the draft advantage, what would you call it for TeamSpirit? Maybe, is it as even? Are we missing something for them, or?
I mean, it looks like they got like everything they wanted, right? Like you pick PL in your last two picks, and then the enemy team just doesn't take Lash, and then you take Lash, and you're like, okay, dream, like the dream just happened, right? I don't know. I feel like they're just in the happiest position ever right now. Their supports, maybe we could say, are like slightly, I guess, maybe slightly awkward. Weaver, I mean, is that even awkward? I'm not sure. I think it sounds kind of decent, actually. But we could say it's slightly awkward compared to some traditional, like, stuns, like Bane and Willow, maybe. But, you know, Weaver's fine with that. Even as a 5, it doesn't matter. This hero is too good.
I mean...
So, yeah, they have I give him, like, a 60-40 at least. Maybe even more than that because I see Troll, and I give him maybe a 65-35 advantage. I really hate Troll. And the other thing is, too, why I'm harping so much about this Troll is what I said before, is how... The Troll Magnus is the only solution to the PL. Like, unless this Mars gets really huge, which maybe he could because he's mid, and he gets, like, his shard, because that allows you to pin the multiple targets, because PL is very good versus the Mars Spear normally. Maybe we could see the, Mars taking part of that carry potential and clearing the PL, but I'm not really seeing it, because he's versus a Lesh mid, so...
Like, I do think Mars late game is actually decent to peel if you have more farm. You can go like Deso, Aghadems, Power is going to give you a lot more as well, but like, does he get to that stage? Because I feel like mid's not too fun. Like, Lesh against a melee hero that can zone you out pretty easy, and I thought the advantage of the mag is that you're always able to go back and farm the jungle, whereas the Mars not as quick of a succession like the empowered up mag.
Yeah, and it's like you want to see this. You see the Magnus, and you're like, oh, Mars is going to get fat, because Magnus is going to be empowering. There's no way that this Magnus can be empowering Troll, empowering Mars, and looking to make plays. So, he's going to have to play on his own regard to just get that farm on Rebel. And we'll see how it plays out. See how this mid matchup ends up going.
I mean, I'm also excited as well because they did move the Weaver down bottom. Of course, Miposhka playing it and giving Mira the Jakiro, which we spoke about in the draft, that you're pretty big fans of just the Bane into Weaver matchup. So I think the big issue for TeamSpirit is Nightstalker, if he has a rough lane, which he definitely could against a Troll and Bane, that's a lot of their initiation on TeamSpirit. I feel like if he doesn't get Blink BKB, Spirit are going to have to rely on just the Leshrac running in to start fights, which could be an issue.
I definitely agree with that. I don't think he should have too much trouble, though, because I look at Mira. Look at his starting items. 2 salves, set of tangos. Like, he's got the regen of plenty. As long as they don't play it, like, aggressive, like, almost ever up top, I feel like this Night Stalker should just free farm. Because he just eats the harass, and these 2 heroes have so much regen. Maybe Mira dies out of position once or twice from some axe slows and a Bane sleep, but I think Collapse should be able to get pretty secured free farm up here.
And when he hits that 5-minute timing as well, then it turns back on its head. Then maybe Melody is the one that's going to be in a situation. We could even see early rotations from the Leshrac if Toronto Tokyo wants to take some early objectives and then really put some early pressure on HellRaisers. But looks like at the moment, bottom lane though, Limitless of course putting the mag to the position 3. He's doing okay. Like, do you feel like this is a lane where he should be able to thrive versus the PL Weaver?
No, this is not easy for Limitless. It's gonna get harder and harder too. As soon as level 3 comes out, we know what happens, right? Bugs get online, lane becomes nearly impossible to just like stay there without having to spend a ton of money on regen, which we already see happening. They're having to do that. I'm actually watching mid quite a lot.
Top lane, actually. Mira might be in trouble. With the Nightmare set up, Watson's going to move over as well. Only 1 point in the Whirling Axes, but looks like we might have our first blood as HellRaisers secure it over onto Watson. So here we go. Are you fogged? Does this give you a little bit more confidence with the troll?
He has to get, honestly, like, it gives me a little more, but he has to get these kills. Like I said, Jakiro steps
Bottom
up
lane too.
slow.
He
He does get picked off from Bane.
Let's skewers Miposhka back towards the tower. Need a little bit of harassment though, nothing too crazy. So at least TSpirit are already able to even up the kill count.
Yep, and it's exactly the same too. It's a kill into a courier. They both actually had a kill into a courier right away, so. And yeah, just I've been watching mid because you know we were talking about how Rebel, he's played the mid Mars a lot even before on his other teams, and he's actually doing a really good job so far. 14-4, and he's very comfortable with it. He's very good at toggling the bulwark to absorb the hits to make Tokyo miss last hits. He's actually made him miss like 3 or 4 with that. So just little things to point out versus ranged heroes.
I mean, do you feel like there's an advantage from either side with potentially supports rotating to secure the power runes or water runes as well? Because, of course, both mid lane is having that early bottle.
Spirits, I mean, I guess Miposha can quickly check it because he's a Weaver, but they don't really set up for a kill too easily with Tokyo. I guess HellRaisers can set up easier. They can look to rotate with the Mars much easier. Bane and Willow rotating for a Mars versus a Lesh. Easy kills if they find an opportunity there.
We already see, though, the Lesh track being a nuisance. Just you running through, stealing away the bounty. I mean, Toronto, Tokyo having a good start. 19 last hits. Is there a lane maybe, I guess, 4 minutes in? Or actually bottom, Limitless. A little bit of brawl going on at the moment. Couture is going to try and jump forward, deal with the Magnus, but this will put Gilga in a bit of a compromised position where the Magnus doesn't offer that body to protect the Dark Willow, and now they can just turn their attention back to the Mag as Limitless. He will end up going down. Gilga, he might be able to trade the life, however. But Yadro posturing aggressively, so Gilga will be forced back. Ooh, Miposhka does run into the bramble.
Oh!
He's going to be okay.
So close. Okay, all right. The strong lanes, you know, as we expected, bottom, Limitless is not going to have a fun time. So this is going to be a big struggle. We'll see how he ends up recovering for that one. And Collapse is still doing fine top. Miposhka, he stayed. Okay. Maybe he wanted to reset.
Does he go for this? He's going to go for this, Gilga.
Oh.
And he's got Fairy Fighter to play with, so maybe baiting the PL a little bit forward. They can't get the kill, but Limitless, some nice harassment, at least. What are you expecting the Mag to itemize this game as a position 3? Is it maybe like utility, the mech potentially, or do they need a relatively early blink?
I think they need the blink early. I'm checking what Rebels got queued up. Like, he's got a lot of early game items. I feel like they need someone that's going to... He's got to be the one to just go, honestly, on the Magnus. It kind of sucks. He might have a lot of deaths this game, so I don't want to see anyone flaming Limitless if he does end up like 0-9 or something. That just might end up being his job this game. He's an empower and an initiator for his supports to get... His support and his Mars to get all their spells off, so... Could be a bit sad for him, but that'll be his job.
Even taking a look at Watson's item build, he's got the Battle Fury queued up. So even with the potential in power to buff him, he still feels like he needs his item to maybe deal with the Phantom Lancer.
Okay, he's getting the really secured safe lane, like pretty much every single last hit because it's Bane Troll, super strong lane, but... Okay. He's even got the phase boots too. Seems a bit all in onto just wanting to deal with the cleave, but we'll see if he does adjust or not. I never really like Battle Fury on Troll personally, but...
Do you feel like just Maelstrom allows you to come online just a little bit faster?
Yeah, it does usually, but I guess it's just like the double cleave. He doesn't want the Magnus to be coming to him all the time or something, and it does give you that extra bit of regen, which of course, you know, Maelstrom just doesn't give you anything for spamming. But I don't know, we'll see.
I'm all eyes on Rabel if he looks to make a move now. He did get the haste at 6 minutes in. He's got the arena as well, so this could be a way for HellRaisers maybe to find a quick kill and maybe get an advantage through one of the side lanes.
Yeah, right now lanes are looking pretty good. He's going to want to hit bottom. They're probably saying like, hey, you know, Limitless is probably telling him, I'm having a pretty rough time. PL's getting absolute free farm. If you can look to set up on something down here, that'd be great. PL's still a bit weak too, especially with Weaver at his back.
You hate to see it. I mean, Hayes potential advantage to pick a kill, but you see instantly Lesh just shoves out the lane, and I mean now if Rabel's not showing mid, it's going to be pretty obvious for TeamSpirit with where he's posturing across the map.
He made the effort though.
But that's the main thing. You know, at least the thought's there for him to make that move. I'm not sure it really helps out the mag too much with 26 last hits, but you know, continuing to be a really strong start for Watson up top. So how do you look to shut down the troll warlord for the boys on TeamSpirit? Are you even worried about that?
Dude,
are you just putting more emphasis?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like, are they concerned about him? Because I feel like it's actually HR who has to be the ones to try to force some towers. Because if you look at their lineup, they don't hit buildings, and on Spirit, they're gonna naturally just take towers. Like Lesh and Jakiro, you leave a lane for like 2-3 seconds, that tower is gonna die. At some point, HR, they're gonna have to group up and make the call. We gotta go for a tower. But if Watson is really going Battle Fury, it's gonna make things awkward in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's kind of the advantage we were speaking about, is like having Rabel. Gonna drop the arena through the river. Miposhka trying to be a nuisance, but Rabel is able to land the spear. Still might be in trouble though, as Toronto Tokyo has got a perfect way to set up for the split earth, and it looks like with all the damage, he's lacking a little bit of mana. And Melody's able to step in as well, Nightmare, to give that distance so Mars can reposition back to safety. So first arena of the game is able to secure the kill over to Miposhka, but Toronto Tokyo has actually still got a decent amount of mana to work with if they can just land some stuns onto Gilgear. It's like the Dark Willows going also be able to get back to the safety of the tower.
No Mars ult now. You see Spirit wants to try to force tower a bit. Tokyo immediately walks up and edicts. They have to bring 3 heroes here exactly like this, HR. They cannot let themselves start just getting bullied on their towers. And we're seeing already, Spirit, they're split up in all 3 lanes. So that's what it tells me. They don't care about the Troll Warlord. They're just like, okay, play our own game. PL's free farming. We're pressuring mid. Mars ult used. Everyone do your own thing. The Collapse, he's just fully chilling in the top lane. He's got an Echo Saber queued up.
Did you feel like maybe Collapse could rotate mid to help enable Toronto Tokyo to take that tower? This is actually what's going on here. By the die triangle, Rabel looks like once again has been able to run into Miposhka, trying to snag away that bounty. But I mean, Rabel is doing very well. Top of the net worth, definitely what you need out of a position 2 Mars.
Yeah, he's killing it right now. Goes for the corrosion early. Okay, bit interesting rather than going for like phase or something just to like cruise around the map. See if that pays off for him. And instead of making the move mid, I think ideally, yes, you want to have Collapse move mid, but I think this is just the easier option. And now it gives you access into enemy jungle. It's going to scare the troll from playing in this side. Now they can rotate immediately. Then they're going to go for the mid tower. As soon as they see HR start moving around and reacting, then they're going to start making their moves again. And I mean, Collapse is actually just going to, he's going to transition to a carry at this point too.
I mean, this is a big issue. Like, I was maybe thinking Collapse could struggle in the lane, and then you would see the Night Stalker. Like, a hero, if he falls behind, it's really difficult to catch up, because he doesn't have this, you know, flash farming mechanic. That was so close from Toronto Tokyo, just shy of the split earth, but I mean, now you've got big issues with the Night Stalker. He's able to deal with the Bane, the Dark Willow easily, so the supports are going to do nothing. I mean, he's even got, of course, a way to get out of the arena, and this is Collapse God as well. It's already a good start for him.
Yeah, and his opposing, you know, his opposing core, the Magnus, as we said, he's gonna have, it's just gonna be recovery for him because the lane was hard, and this hero is just tough to play out of the offlane. There's a reason we don't see it picked too often anymore in that offlane for that reason. It's just, yeah, you just kind of fall off. You're not really something that forces towers. You have a long cooldown, very long cooldown on your ult. You don't really want to max in power first as a 3. You want to have your shockwave max, so it's weird. Miposhka?
Oh, quick fingers.
Probably still
going to try and land the Terrorize. Yeah, it looks like they will, but that's 2 ultimates now forced for this, so let's see what Spirit want to do with this information. Of course, they've even got Dark Ascension and a couple of TPs available. Lesh is also refilling the mana, so they might look to defend bottom. I guess having no trees is difficult.
Yeah, it's a little too risky down there. They already have 3 set up. Magnus is going to head mid to try to hold this, but it's Max Edict. Tokyo will force the issue.
And they got RP. Collapse is going to look to show up as well. He's our first Dark Ascension of the game. They're going to try and aim down Melody at the moment. Mira also making sure there's no impact from Gilgar, knowing the Terrorizers on cooldown. Look at how TSpirit are playing, just making sure they don't get group up until Limus. Still able to find the double RP. They're trying to move in on Watson. He's got the ensnare. Leshrac falling relatively low with the help of the Bedlam, so they find a big kill. But it's going to cost them 2 heroes on HellRaisers until Rabel finds a spear, dragging back Mira. He's also going to end up dying right next to the tier 2 tower, but in the end, it'll be a 2-for-3 advantage for the boys on TSpirit. We're not done just yet, though. Man, it's going to TP back into the fray here as Rabel's continuing to push on forward for more. Just found the stun connection on Collapse, and as Melody gets that extra little bit of damage required as well. So, a decent trade for the boys on Dial.
That was actually pretty damn good. Rebel's huge now. He comes out with the corrosion, couple of those hits, slowing people down, keeping the distance, makes a difference in that fight. Nice RP, actually connects on the 2, and then they get, I think, what, 2 back-to-back roots from Watson. He's got this 3 points in the Berserker Rage, so that root actually lasting a decent amount of time, and it's enough to take out the Lesh. I didn't think that they were going to be able to kill Tokyo in time.
Yeah, I guess it looked like TSpirit with how they were starting that fight. Like, they had the awareness of we got to make sure we can't group up. Limitless, he has this threat of the RP, and then as soon as he was able to land that, you saw instantly Watson turns around, puts the emphasis on the RP target, and taking a fight where you don't have as much room to maneuver right next to a tier 1 was maybe like the downside for TSpirit. But we're just seeing, like, do you just go back mid down though? You know, RP's on cooldown. I guess they didn't have Arena for that fight or Terrorize, so they do want to butt their heads again. At least HellRaisers will have a couple of ultimates.
I think, yeah, Spirit, it's like respawn and go ahead right away. They see the Bane still level 5. I think that's actually one of the things that surprised me the most is that Bane was 5, Willow was level 7 in the fight. Or actually, Bane might have been level 4 or level 3 even in the fight when it started initially. So I was like, oh, this is going to be disaster for HellRaisers. But good positioning ends up working, and good like kiting out the enemy heroes. Like they actually got hit by like I think 3 or 4 heroes with the Weaver bugs at the start of the fight too. That's always where I'm like, uh-oh, you know, 3 or 4 men, Weaver bugs. Sure, he dies, but that's your entire job. So fight started out weird, but ended up very successful for them. And immediate smoke again. They're looking for action.
Yeah, they'll get the post guy. It was under the water. They did ping it out.
Okay.
So, I guess no cores dying, but again, Rabel is 6-0-1 Fog. Like this is how you want to start the series in the regional finals. He's love and life.
That one had to be intentional though, right? Like Miposhko ran right into them. Maybe he was trying to time lapse and dodge the gank or something and just make them waste something, but he went right into them and saw them with the ward. So just eating the gank for the cores, and I mean, it probably ended up being worth it because of the positioning of the lanes. Like they didn't really have anywhere they could go. So
Watson's got Battle Fury, so this is quite the timing. It's not the naked Battle Fury. Phase boots, stick, couple slippers of agility. So he is also doing incredibly well. Like, do you feel like there's a timing where Troll maybe like 2-3 items before the PL could start to have a little bit more involvement?
I always want to say yes, but then I'm like always just
it's a troll.
It's a troll. Yeah, I always want to say like, yeah, look, he's having this great time. Yeah, things are looking good, but then something always just ends up happening with this hero. Like one bad battle trance, and you like run into the enemy team 1v5, and it's So right now it's looking great because I think the thing to stand out is obviously Rebel for me. Like he's top of net worth. He almost has BKB done already, so that's going to be pretty huge for his team just to rally and play around. He's always going to be able to get the successful initiations. And they have Blink now on
Blink as well. Yeah. So there we go. I mean, you spoke about how he's probably going to be forced to go Blink. They do smoke. I think this time it wasn't under the ward. I try and target their forces to the triangle. Yotaro, farming at the moment, he does have Diffusal working towards Yasha. Maybe Toronto Tokyo is going to be the target instead as the RP into the Fiend's Grip, even further back to no assistance. Is Lesh down for 30, but again, the big issue, like you can't really get any objectives off the back of that kill.
I'm glad that it's no funny business though. Like, it's not like he like tries to go for a Blink Shockwave skewer play. Like, it's just like, no, I'm RPing. Like, we're just getting the kill. That's it. Now, sure, now they know that those 2 ults are down, so they're gonna push tower immediately. No Fiend's Grip, no RP, and I feel like don't think they can hold this.
I think that's gonna be the story of the game though. Nice deny, okay, Melody. I think that's going to be the story of the game, though, with the Fiend's Grip. Like, how are you really going to get a decent Fiend's Grip off through the fight? Into Night Stalker, Jakiro, Ice Path, and my Spirit want to continue with the action. And with the RPs on cooldown, Collapse Mirror, along with Yotaro, pushing into the top side of the map here as they're going to run into Gilgar. But again, I mean, you're pretty happy with just a support dying considering you are getting a ridiculous amount of farm on Watson, and there's already one component towards the BKB.
Not bad. This is the scary times though, right? It's like it's nighttime now. Jungles, you've lost access to jungle. We already talked about the vision aspects of Spirit from the way they, not only just the heroes that they have, but the way they play. The way that Miposhka, I feel like, always plays. He's just a vision player. Like he's very much more focused on vision than I think most 5 positions. I know like we say 5 positions always do, but I feel like he literally just gives his life and is just like giving wards for his team and just dying a lot of the time. So they're getting so much information still that even though HellRaisers, they're making all these moves, the net worth keeps bouncing right back and forth. Like, it's pretty much like 100 net worth differential.
Yeah, and then this is kind of what you were asking for, right, though, for HellRaisers coming into this series versus TSpirit, just to maybe focus on lanes and make sure you don't get dominated from there, because, I mean, TSpirit can play the macro game so efficiently, and if you lose the lanes to them, they're just going to suffocate you inside, the net worth is just going to dwindle, but it's a good start for HellRaisers.
Yeah, they did, like you said, they did exactly what we wanted them to really do with their draft, and now it's just, now what? Because this is where it's, you know, PL, this is where PL thrives. He's just sitting back. Sure, you have a Battle Fury, but it's a PL versus pretty much no counter matchups besides that Troll, as we've mentioned, and the Mars, since it's a core.
Let's see where they direct this smoke. I mean, they see Watson farming at the moment. He might just clear this wave and TP out. Yeah, he will. Okay, so we should just make it away. This ward though mid is giving them so much information. I think Melody tried to de-ward it previously, but the sentry just out of range, and they're going to get full usage out of it.
That's not a very common ward either. Usually you see it placed a little bit more like north to the left. That's why you see that sentry placed. Like, even that one, that sentry's a little weird, I gotta be honest. But I guess he's checking to see if they placed it like on the tower, because we do see teams do that a lot, but... Okay, HR. They have a DD in the bottle.
Whew. BKB as well for Rabel. We might just see them drop RP once again for a core. I mean, Claps is going to show. Ooh. He's trying to find that angle. Claps, he's wary of this though. I mean, bottom's getting pushed in, top's pushed in as well, and no one's showing, so it looks like good read for TSpirit, but they're still going to move their forces bottom. So Miposhka's going to be the target. Melody just drops the Fiend's Grip, no messing around. They're happy with using the ultimate to secure the kill onto Miposhka, and they also get Mirror as well.
Clean. Easy, too. They only had to use one, right? This time it's just a Fiend's Grip rather than having to use 2 ults for the supports. Clean, easy kills. But Spirit, I mean, they lose the supports, and immediately it doesn't really look like they lost too much. Toro goes back to Ancients. Night Stalker collapses, already still hitting jungle camps, and the net worth doesn't really alter too much at all.
I think, quickly, we want to get your thoughts on the build from Toronto Tokyo. Like, he had the Hooded Defiance queued up before the Yield Scepter, but then swapped into this item build. So, are you a fan of kind of the switch and what he was thinking?
Absolutely. I actually was very confused when I saw the hood. I thought maybe he was like trolling us or something, because it's like it's mostly physical that you're really worried this game. If you're gonna get caught in the point where you're dying to like a Willow running into you and using his ult, that just means that something else went wrong in the fight. So this is better. This is just natural Lesh items. Your Euls for your setup, Euls to save you, Euls to dispel, hold troll back, etc. This is ideal.
They're going to posture pretty aggressively down bottom here, trying to catch up here, defending the tower. This is Manta now completed as well for Yadoro, so we'll see if he feels comfortable now starting to show up fights. We did see him smoke previously, and that was with the Yasha, so maybe now he's going to feel even more comfortable to get involved.
Watson has BKB too, though, and a Blink now on Rebel, so they do have the good ways to keep their supports protected on the side of HellRaisers. So we are seeing Spirit, they're still just playing the farm game, still just playing that macro game until they feel like they're ready to run into this lineup, which makes sense. Playing into these 2 BKBs, the fights will be hard for Spirit. They have to play them like these 4D chests of just dancing around the BKBs otherwise, or they can just farm, and then they get themselves their BKBs plus that one extra item that the PL feels comfortable to fight into these BKBs, which, yeah, seems like that's kind of what they're doing. Tokyo is still looking to play aggressive because it's Tokyo, and that's just the way he is.
It does feel like, though, with HellRaisers, there's going to be a big advantage on the control through fights. Like, Troll's not going to get kited at all through RP, Arena, Bramble, etc. And you've got double Blink now as well. So it's going to be a much easier time for HellRaisers to start. Yeah,
if they can actually find a fight right now, daytime, look for this fight, catch straight into Roche. Then they can get themselves a big momentum swing.
I think they need the RP to start.
Yeah.
Mag is not in position. Rabel still is moving on forward. Can they get the speed connection? Rabel just off the mark. Now, do they still want to stick around? It's given enough time for the TPs to come over. They need to cancel the Fiend's grip. Collapse is going to do so. There's Yadoro juking to the northern side. He hasn't died just yet, thanks to the help of Collapse. Now, HellRaisers, they're in two minds. Do we stick around or do we retreat? Rabel's out with the BKB, but the rest of HellRaisers, I mean, they will not have as easy of a time as the poor old Bane position 5 brought down, and maybe now we lead this into Roche. TSpirit, I mean, they're considering it.
Oh God. Where was the follow-up? They needed like anything, like literally anything on your Toro, and he dies there, and they end up having a big swing. But now, the direct opposite happens, and now they have to run in and fight anyway.
Take the fight. Watson's still got BKB. Limitless has the RP as well. He's going to use it solely onto the troll, but the Ice Pop as well, disrupting through the duration. But it looks like TSpirit, they don't want to stick around, and Roche is low.
Okay. Maposhka swinging around.
Oh, I don't know, Maposhka.
Nope.
And Watson picks it up. I mean, what was feeling like a bit of a swing to the side of TSpirit, the threat of them taking Roshan just off the back of one team fight mistake, could have blown this game wide open. But at least HellRaisers now, you've got the Aegis onto Watson.
Oh man, that looked almost like they completely lost control of the game. If Spirit was able to get Roche, but it's actually still daytime, so Dark Ascension ended, and PL was too low to hit the Roche himself, so they couldn't finish it.
They're scouting Toronto.
Okay, might be able to get another
He doesn't
one.
have TP. Yeah, he's in trouble. I mean, he should 100% go down. Let's see Truly's a god here. I mean, this is another big pickoff as well. Just a sequence of events. Rabel's godlike.
Godlike.
I mean, this is 22 minutes in. I tell you what, this is what you need on a Mars matchup versus the PL. He will deal with him as the game goes on.
He will.
You see Deso queued up.
Yeah, it's all working out now. They did get the pick. They didn't get the pick off, but then they got the consecutive fight afterwards. And now they get a tier 1 tower mid too. Bottom's opened up. Ooh. HellRaisers swinging off this momentum as we mentioned from yesterday.
And they have to be so confident with the position they're in at the moment. 3,000 net worth lead at 22 minutes in. And their fights have been looking crisp. Now it's T2 tower, more map.
Right, Troll is 2-0-5. This is a so far perfect game from Watson on the Troll Warlord.
And top lane, I mean, easy setup.
Yep.
Melody. Bye-bye, Miposhka. More gold, more kills. Further streak for Rabel.
And a Deso. That's pretty much done. So these... Oh, man. Everybody's super squishy now. Like, even the Leshrac, because we saw Tokyo, he had to go for, as you mentioned, his normal Lesh item. Doesn't have armor. He'll die super easy. It's going to be a lot of work for your Toro to carry this
connecting.
game.
Yadoro might be in trouble. Oh, they went the wrong way. Not guessing the right illusion, and now once again, Yadoro is able to blink out of the arena, but Limitless still continuing to hunt. Doesn't get the skewer back in, but at least it's close enough to Watson. Finds the ensnare. Yadoro is going to go down. Now they're looking to collapse as well with the Dark Ascension. The BKB is about to expire though, so Gilga, he'll follow up with a control and another kill going the way of HellRaisers.
Rebel went for the last hit too. Dude, he's pumping up that Beyond God. Like, pops of regen. They're all still healthy. Spirit's losing control.
And these towers are going to start to fall pretty fast as well. I mean, with the Deso onto Rabel.
I cannot believe how farmed he is. How good of a game he's having.
Look at this. Alright, this is pretty greedy. T3 Teller gives a damn about that. I mean, they got 17-9 kill count. They want more and more kills. So what do you feel like is the angle back in for TSpirit? Like, how do they have to play a perfect teams fight to turn this game back around?
I think right now team fights are looking way too problematic. I think they need to get their farm up, at least the one mother item. Like right now they have BKB on Collapse, so maybe that could cause them to try to find it. But into Aegis, I think it's going to be too hard. Maybe they wait 1 minute 30, they try to get a good vision, like some good vision behind from Miposhka and then get a flank. But I think they're too far behind right now. I think Tokyo is literal food until BKB. So 200 more gold for him.
So we just eyes on Miposhka cutting the wave and I mean, maybe Jakiro as well playing the side lanes?
I think right now they just have to play the split game. I think running into this Smars is just... he's out of... How many power runes has he gotten, too? Like, he's gotten haste, DD, everything. And he's got an Arcane now to Rune as well. And they're going high
They're
ground.
going high ground. I mean, Watson did just lose his bash on the courier.
Okay.
So,
Unfortunate.
we'll see. But he's got Aegis for another minute here, so they really want to use this. This is a bit of a timing, though, for Lesh. Just picking up the BKB, like you were saying, really requiring for Toronto, Tokyo. They forced them back. That's the main thing, and now got in the tier 3 tower. And HellRaisers, they're happy with that.
It is nighttime, so Spirit, maybe they look to try to catch them off guard here. Aegis is getting reclaimed in 40 seconds. They're looking to try to catch somebody on the retreat.
Oh, I like this call. Look at mid. Yeah, they need to shove it out with the position. They instantly draw the line down, collapse. So it hasn't popped just yet because, of course, the nighttime, though. Limitless is going to run to both of them, but nice fingers with the blink. He's able to retreat. They still want to take the brawl, though. Collapse is a little bit disconnected from the team. Looks like it's not going to matter, though. They're unable to lock onto the Night Stalker. And now they're going to play around their own high ground with the ward as well. Team Spirit. I don't know if they can brute force up this.
That was a very good retreat. HellRaisers played it really good. Gilgir just was like, team, go right. He just popped Shadow Realm and ran into the Hall of Spirit. Drew their attention. So, okay. Alrighty, alright.
I mean, there's definitely positive signs as well, like you said. Just to be able to have that communication in a game like this where you're heading in, it's such a difficult matchup versus Team Spirit. But the calm is there, the communication is there. And like you said, just to back up to the higher ground where, you know, honestly, that's not a fight where Team Spirit can take. You said the team fights are Rabel? Arena onto Illusion, but yeah, taking a choke point fight into Arena, into the Dark Willow control and the mag, that's something you cannot do.
How close to PL Heart? Still some time. That's the big timing that we're looking for your Toro, at least, so that he's comfortable to fight. The BKBs are online for Tokyo and for Collapse, so they're feeling pretty good right now, but they need that nuisance PL for them to have chances still in the fights, since Watson and Rebel are just too big. They're just massive on these two. And now they get the Mindbreaker as well, and Rebel, he's not going to slow down for building to that transition, to that super core at least. Satanic on the menu, so he can keep scaling even harder. And of course, Mindbreaker is great. My least favorite neutral item to play versus as a support.
Yeah, difficult times with this Mindbreaker.
Yep.
And we'll see how Rabel level 20 as well just completed. So if he wants that extra control from the Mars stun, yes, he'll go for it. And Watson as well. He's gone for the plus 30 damage at the level 20. So even though it's a 5,000 net worth lead, it's grown. But it's starting to mellow out here after the Aegis advantage. We see HellRaisers aren't posturing as aggressively, but I feel like the next brawl is really going to commence with that second Roche.
And I think everything is still going to be a bit of initiation. It's like they're behind, so I think for HR, if they get the initiation, Spirit is behind, so if HR gets the clean initiation, they're gonna like dominate the fight pretty hard. But if Spirit even gets, some type of vision aspect, they get any type of wraparound, we can see a different fight still coming out, even though they're behind. Because this PL is still gonna be a problem. As long as he's not fully controlled, he's gonna be really obnoxious.
So are you looking to see HellRaisers probably look to put a lot more emphasis on their wards around the Roche pit? Or
Yeah,
like
high ground wards, and just play around Roche pit. You can't let yourself be the ones to get jumped on, and you ideally want to fight during daytime, so play around Dark Ascension. Right now, they're playing it really clean. So
the one thing I've been really impressed with for Eastern European Dota is just the early commitment into gems, and I feel like this could be a game where you consider it. Just because you're against the Night Stalker, you need that extra advantage. I guess it's a little bit difficult on who's going to hold it because how poor the mag is, but yeah, it could be something they consider.
Yeah, I like these like early gem. I think it's a risk. That's where you can put you lose the gem on because a Night Stalker catches you like in your Bane or something. Like you can't put it on these squishy sweep points. I think it's too scary for a full comeback happening just because of some stupid gem. For now.
I mean, for Team Spirit, they're doing exactly what you were asking for, though. Poshka playing the side lanes with the Weaver, being that nuisance. They've given enough farm to the heart to be completed. Lesh is also working towards the Shivas as well, so they are still getting their farm on Team Spirit.
Catch on the side, that high ground ward.
You're pretty fine with that, I imagine, for Team Spirit. Like, it's inevitably going to happen, and they're actually going to smoke up.
They're smoking. Okay.
I mean, I guess they got the information that multiple heroes are botting.
RP?
Oh, holy RP! Watson's nearby as well with Rabel's follow-up. 2 heroes just evaporate. Now they're on to Toronto, Tokyo. Watson's got the Scotty, so there'll be no escape. A bash for good measure as well. As bye-bye Leshrac. I mean, Yadoro, he's still playing the outskirts, maybe trying to force out the life of Watson, but I mean, now you got 4 pickoffs. What do you consider on HellRaisers? Is it the high ground siege?
You got your whole team up. I think you want to start knocking at least a little bit. Satanic finished up on Rebel too. Another power rune for him, 12-0 and 5. Look at this performance from Rebel. 12-0-5. Toronto Tokyo is 1-4-4. One of the quietest games I feel like I've seen from him, especially on a hero like Lesh. He's dominated.
And he has. It's been really strong showing from the HellRaiser cause, and they're going to force out a glyph and back up. They used Arena RP as well, with Roshan up in 17 seconds. So you have TeamSpirit with the fight.
The thing for me that is impressive with especially that last engagement is they were prepared. That just showed how ready, especially Limitless was for them to come make a play. Because they got I think they recognized that Spirit's going to make a move because they showed 2 supports bottom. So they're like, just be ready. And something happens, just be super ready for the RP. And you saw how ready he was. Like, absolutely instant. So that just shows very clear understanding and awareness of, yeah, what the enemy's going to do. Even when you split up and how you're supposed to cover your backs in case you do move your supports.
TeamSpirit though, looking to smoke his 4. Of course, the RP still being on cooldown, but they've got control. Radiant have a really good ward in the backline though, by this top outpost. So I see some of the supports. Clap's going to look to jump in. They're going to put some emphasis on cutting away the life of the Bane, but an Arena doesn't give him any extra assistance. So Melody is able to find the Fiend skip. They've cut away the life of Collapse, and no one's dead on HellRaisers. They'll turn to Toronto, Tokyo next, and now they've even caught the Weaver as well. Melody, how is he getting these long duration Fiend skip? And that fight was just set up because of Rabel. This man is doing it all. That Arena in the entrance to the team fight meant that the rest of TeamSpirit, they couldn't connect with the Night Stalker.
And he took 0 damage. He jumped into 3 heroes, one-shotted the Jakiro with a nice empowered God's Rebuke, and he took 0 damage. Like a spear onto the Leshrac into the wall, and yeah, Night Stalker's just isolated with his Weaver in the backline, and yeah, this is very impressive from Rebel. HR. No funny business today.
Not at all. I guess Limitless did pop BKB when the fight was over.
Okay, so, you know, showing off a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we don't need this BKB. We'll give them a little bit of advantage, the reigning champions.
I do have to give Limitless a lot of, like, even though it's like Rebel is the clear MVP this game, 13-0 and 7, 20 of the 25 kills. Limitless, after a really hard lane, no hesitation. I feel like he was always in the right place at the right time. So that's tough to do.
Yadoro also just bought out for the Aether Lens, so he won't have buyback available now. Also died on the Courier. And Watson's just pummeling to Toronto. The BKB off, but Watson, of course, with the Aegis advantage. BKB in the backpack. And they've still got another full set of barracks left to claim here for the boys on HellRaisers. Now they can dwindle down the resources of Watson. Limitless again! He's in with the RP. This time catches 2. They've got the follow-up and the Terrorize as well. No buyback on Yadoro. And, I mean, that might just be the end. A 4-on-5. They call it. HellRaisers, they have come to play today. Taking game 1, 34 minutes in.
And I think me and you were, we're both a little hesitant from, of course, we're just going to say it straight up, Troll Warlord pick. But I think that their decision to swap it up was everything this game. They put this they picked last pick Magnus, throw it off lane, put Rebel on his signature Mars mid, and that was actually everything for me. He did such a good job, read the movements, was there for almost every fight. Yeah, flawless play from Rebel.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an exceptional way to start off the regional finals with a draft field kind of giving the edge over to TeamSpirit, but my oh my, HellRaisers, they executed almost flawlessly to be able to take this game, a very convincing fashion. 33 minutes in, we'll send it to over break, and when we come back, Albert will join us to help break this game down.